consider myself a fair critic, where, well, I don't necessarily try to look at the positives or negatives. I feel like I'm more neutral half the time. I just like to express my own opinion and whatnot, and I gave this a chance. I wanted it to turn out well, but I have to talk about it. Talking about will make the pain go away.
Today we're gonna talk about the Powerpuff Girls reboot that came out, like what, a month ago? I don't fucking know.
I mean, last time I talked about Powerpuff Girls only resulted in about 13 people thinking I'm a communist, so what could go wrong?
Though this isn't going to be like my other reviews, since I was originally going to pick just the worst out of the episodes that I watched and just review that one. But there wasn't just one episode that demonstrated everything wrong with this show. The problems are spread out. So this is going to be a weird one, like some sort of hybrid between my reviews and an episode of my gripes with.
In fact, the only thing keeping this video from being an episode of My Gripes With is that My Gripes With is supposed to be about shows I like.
So let's get into, in no particular order, the reasons why I do not like the Powerpuff Girls reboot. Anyways, let's begin. Now, I won't harp on some of the small changes like the Powerpuff phone being turned into smartphones, or the narrator only showing up sometimes, and when he does it feels like...
We were 15 seconds short, so we had to pad it out.
I'm not even really going to complain about the new voice actresses. I mean, yes, it was extremely shitty of Cartoon Network's part to not even ask the old voice actresses if they wanted to come back. But I'll give the new ones some credit. It feels like that they're at least trying, even though I swear Blossom and Bubbles sound almost too similar to each other.
Ooh, can there be a quiz? Mr. Guru, on the quiz, can I use my lucky bunny pen?
I don't know, is it just me? Though I will bring up that something feels off about Professor Utonium. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's the new art style or his voice, just something doesn't feel right. In fact, since I mentioned the art style, let's bring it up. The animation isn't great. I mean, you just need to look at it for a few seconds and feel like that something's wrong here. And I feel like there's gonna be that one asshole who's gonna throw out the whole, "Oh, let's see you do better" argument.
And you know what? Yes, I'll admit it, I couldn't do better than this. But guess what? Unlike the people making this show, I'm not an animator.
Plus, there are moments where they go off-model, like here and here, that just feel wrong. Then we get another problem where it feels like none of the characters, especially the villains, get any introduction. I mean, sure, I know who Mojo Jojo and Princess Morbucks are, but the younger kids who may have been born after the original show ended may know absolutely nothing about them. Though, they even did this with a character who I'm pretty sure is supposed to be a new villain. Yeah, in one episode they introduced this fashion-based villain who is swearing revenge on the Powerpuff Girls, even though this is the first time we've ever seen her. Were some episodes played out of order? Is she a one-off villain from the original that I completely forgot about? Are the writers just incompetent? I could believe any of these, but mostly the last one. Then there's the whole controversy that they wrote Miss Bellum off of the show with a 1,000-day vacation for the fact that they didn't see her as a good role model because she was too sexy or some shit like that. Which is completely fucking stupid, considering that in the original show, she was one of the smartest characters, or at least the one with the most common sense. I mean, the whole thing is that she was supposed to be the voice of reason for the mayor, where, I mean, the mayor's a fucking idiot. Without her, I don't trust him to go 5 minutes without getting like a bear trap on his head or something.
Hell, if Miss Bellum is gone for being too hot for TV, how much you want to bet Seducer's never going to appear on this show? Though, considering how bad this show is, that might be a good thing.
Though I'm also worried of what they're going to do with him. I mean, he's probably going to show up sooner or later considering that he's in the intro.
The reason why I'm worried about that is, well, him was a bit on the, let's say, flamboyant side, and, well, they haven't really handled stuff like that all too well.
You see, there is an episode that involves a horse that wants to be a unicorn, and this more or less is meant to be a metaphor for gender identity, and well, I could go over into how it's offensive. Since I'm a straight white man, I don't feel like I'm the best person to speak for a group that I'm not part of. Though there is an excellent text review on this episode done by Tumblr user JitterBugJive that I'll link to down below. It goes into way more detail than I could even ever hope to do. Yeah, I know that I myself made my fair share of Tumblr gets offended by everything jokes, how I made one in my last review that no one watched, but JitterBugJive does explain how this particular episode can be very offensive towards transgender people. Then there are moments that make me completely cringe in pain, like the rap battle scene, the twerking scene, and well, dialogue like this.
OMG! Yes!
Oh god. Just work through the pain, Ken. It'll be over soon. Then you never have to talk about the show again. Oh god.
This shows a huge problem with this reboot. It feels soulless.
This show was not made by humans. This show was made by businessmen.
Most of the time it feels like they're just trying to hit check marks on trying to be hip with the kids, which will only make the show dated, which considering that the original still holds up to this day is not a good thing.
And I know what some of you apologists may be thinking. No, I do not just dislike this show because it's not like the original. Since, well, I did like the original Powerpuff Girls, it wasn't as close to my heart as some of the other shows like Ed, Edd n Eddy or Billy and Mandy. So when it came on, I gave the show the benefit of the doubt. I said, hey, I'll give you a chance to stand on your own 2 feet. It just didn't take long for them to fall flat on their face.
That's the show's biggest problem. While it does not capture the spirit of the original, it's not its own thing either. It's like this weird halfway point that's just pretty much nothing.
And I do not mean anything like, it was okay nothing. I mean nothing. In fact, I can't believe I'm even about to say this, but Teen Titans Go has more reason to exist than this piece of shit.
Now, I'm not saying that Teen Titans Go is good in any way, shape, or form, but at least it's its own thing.
Though I bet some of you are wondering, is there anything, even a smidgen of something that I can say positive about this show?
Well, I have like at least 2 positive things I could say. Like I said before, despite what they're given, it does feel like the voice actors are at least trying. And there's also one episode that parodies The Hangover that's not that bad. So that's one good episode out of the 7 I've seen. Though last time I checked, 1 out of 7 is about 14%. And 14% is well beyond an F-. Overall, this show is just the unfortunate case of the fact that when you make a show for a network, most of the time you no longer own these characters. The studio owns these characters, and they will do whatever they want with them whether you like it or not.
Don't watch this show. Watch the original since it's still there. Or if you want something that's more recent to fill the void, I have a recommendation for you.
If you want something that's good, then if you haven't watched it yet, check out Wanda Over Yonder. It has clever writing, fun characters, and it's made by Craig McCracken, the creator of the original Powerpuff Girls. Though, unfortunately, Wanda Over Yonder isn't getting a 3rd season. Not because of ratings, just because for whatever reason Disney did not want to renew it. Though there may be a way to fix that. Down below is a link to a petition you could sign to try to change the mind of the Disney executives. Yes, I know that online petitions almost never work, but hey, it never hurts to help.
So, those were my thoughts on the Powerpuff Girls reboot. Thank God I don't think I have to talk about this ever again. Feel free to share your thoughts on it down below, and hey, tell me what you think of this more editorial style review. Do you think it works for me or not? And well, since I did mention my gripes with early on in this video, since it's been several months, sorry about that since the last time I did one, How about next time we do something? Hell, give me a reason to rewatch a show I actually like. So what's up next? I am okay with this.